In the next few moments, something inside you is going to shift. Not a small shift, but a powerful one. Imagine waking up tomorrow completely untouched by negativity. No anger, no irritation, no one having the power to disturb your peace. Sounds impossible? Stay with me, because what you're about to learn is the quiet power that separates the calm from the chaotic, the unshaken from the easily broken. There is a hidden truth most people never discover. Your anger is not caused by people. It is not caused by situations. It is created by your interpretation of them. The moment you realize this, everything changes. You stop being a victim of the world and start becoming the master of your inner state. This is the foundation of Stoicism, and once you truly understand it, you will never see frustration the same way again. Think about the last time someone upset you. Maybe they said something disrespectful or acted in a way that triggered you. At that moment, it felt like they caused your anger. But pause for a second. Another person could experience the same situation and remain calm. Why? Because the event itself has no power. The meaning you assign to it is where the emotion is born. When you stop giving meaning to things that don't deserve your energy, you become free. This is not about suppressing your emotions. It is about understanding them so deeply that they no longer control you. When someone insults you, you can either accept it or reject it. If you reject it, it has no weight. It becomes noise, nothing more. Most people spend their lives reacting. They react to opinions, to criticism, to delays, to inconveniences. They are constantly pulled in different directions by things outside their control. This is why they feel exhausted, frustrated, and overwhelmed. But you are here to become different. You are here to rise above that cycle. The Stoic mind operates differently. It asks one simple question in every situation. Is this within my control or not? If it is not, then it is not worth emotional investment. This single principle has the power to eliminate most of your anger instantly. Because the truth is, most things that bother you are outside your control. People will misunderstand you. They will judge you. They will act in ways that don't align with your expectations. But their actions belong to them, not to you. When you accept this fully, you stop trying to control others. And when you stop trying to control others, you stop being disappointed by them. There is a deep strength in letting go, not giving up, but releasing the need to force outcomes. When you stop resisting reality, you start flowing with it. And in that flow, there is peace. A kind of peace that no external chaos can shake. Anger often comes from expectations. You expect people to behave a certain way. You expect life to be fair. You expect things to go according to your plans. And when those expectations are not met, frustration arises. But what if you removed those expectations entirely? When you accept that people will act according to their nature, you stop being surprised by their behavior. When you accept that life is unpredictable, you stop being thrown off by challenges. Acceptance is not weakness. It is clarity. It is seeing things as they are, not as you wish them to be. There is also power in silence. Not every situation requires a reaction. Not every comment deserves a response. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is remain calm and say nothing. Your silence is not submission. It is control. Imagine someone trying to provoke you, but you remain completely unaffected. No anger, no reaction, just calm awareness. That is true power. Because when you control your reactions, no one else can control you. Your mind is like a gate. Every thought, every opinion, every external influence must pass through it. You have the power to decide what gets in and what stays out. Most people leave their gates wide open, allowing anything and everything to disturb their peace. But you are learning to guard yours carefully. When negative thoughts arise, observe them. Don't attach to them. Don't let them grow. Let them pass like clouds in the sky. The more you practice this, the less control they will have over you. There will be moments when anger tries to take over. That is natural. You are human. But the difference now is awareness. You will notice it rising. You will pause. And in that pause, you will choose your response instead of reacting automatically. That pause is your power. It is the space where transformation happens. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Until one day, anger no longer controls you at all. Peace is not found in controlling the world. It is found in controlling yourself. When your inner world is stable, the outer world loses its ability to disturb you. You become grounded, unshaken, and resilient. This is not something you achieve overnight. It is a practice, a way of living. Every day, you choose calm over chaos. You choose understanding over reaction. You choose strength over weakness. And as you continue on this path, something incredible happens. People notice. They see your calmness. They feel your presence. You become someone who cannot be easily disturbed, and that alone sets you apart. What if the greatest form of strength is not fighting back, but choosing not to be affected at all? Most people spend their lives preparing for confrontation, building defenses, sharpening responses, and waiting for the next moment they feel challenged. But there is a quieter, more powerful way to live. A way where you don't need to prove anything, defend anything, or react to everything. A way where your peace is so strong that nothing external can shake it. There is a calmness that comes from understanding that not everything deserves your attention. In fact, most things don't. The majority of what people say, do, or think has nothing to do with you. Yet, if you're not careful, you will carry it as if it does. You will replay words in your mind, analyze tones, and assign meanings that drain your energy. But once you realize that most noise is just noise, you begin to detach from it. Detachment is not coldness. It is clarity. It is the ability to see things without becoming entangled in them. When someone speaks out of anger, it reflects their state, not your worth. When someone tries to provoke you, it reveals their struggle, not your weakness. When you understand this deeply, you stop taking things personally. There is freedom in not needing validation. So many people are controlled by the opinions of others because they are constantly seeking approval. They want to be liked, respected, admired. And while there is nothing wrong with appreciation, it becomes dangerous when your peace depends on it, because the moment someone disapproves, your inner stability collapses. But when you learn to validate yourself, everything changes. You no longer chase acceptance. You no longer fear criticism. You become grounded in who you are, regardless of what others think. And from that place, no insult can truly harm you. Imagine walking into a room where people are judging you, whispering, forming opinions. The old version of you might feel uncomfortable, defensive, even angry. But the new version of you remains calm. Why? Because their thoughts are outside your control. And more importantly, they do not define you. Your worth is not determined by someone else's perspective. It is determined by your own understanding of yourself. When you know who you are, you don't need anyone else to confirm it, and when you don't need confirmation, you cannot be easily shaken. There is also a powerful shift that happens when you stop expecting fairness from life. Many people become angry because they believe things should always be fair. They expect equal treatment, equal outcomes, equal opportunities. And when reality doesn't match those expectations, frustration builds. But life has never promised fairness. It operates on its own terms. When you accept this, you stop resisting what is, you adapt instead of complaining. You move forward instead of getting stuck in anger. And that ability to adapt is what makes you resilient. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulty. It is about facing it without losing your composure. It is about staying steady when everything around you feels uncertain. And the more you develop this quality, the less anything can disturb you. There is something incredibly powerful about being unreactive. Not in a passive way, but in a controlled, intentional way. When you choose when and how to respond, you take back your power. You are no longer at the mercy of your emotions or other people's actions. Think about how much energy is wasted on things that don't matter. Arguments that lead nowhere, opinions that change nothing, situations that resolve themselves with time. If you could reclaim that energy and direct it toward your growth, your purpose, your peace, your entire life would transform. This is where discipline comes in. Not discipline in action alone, but discipline in thought. The ability to control what you focus on, the ability to redirect your mind when it starts to drift toward negativity. This is not easy, but it is worth it. Every time you choose not to react, you are strengthening a new habit. Every time you remain calm in the face of chaos, you are reinforcing a new identity. Over time, this becomes your default state. Calm, composed, and unbothered. There is also wisdom in understanding that time reveals everything. Someone may disrespect you today, but their actions will catch up with them. Someone may misunderstand you, but clarity will come. You don't need to rush to correct everything. You don't need to fight every battle. Sometimes, the best response is patience. Let time handle what you cannot. Trust that not everything needs immediate action. This patience creates space for clarity, and in that clarity, better decisions are made. Your energy is one of your most valuable resources. Where you direct it determines the quality of your life. If you constantly invest it in negativity, you will feel drained. But if you protect it and use it wisely, you will feel empowered. Protecting your energy means setting boundaries. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not every conversation is worth engaging in. Not every situation requires your presence. Learning to say no is a form of self-respect. And when you respect yourself, others begin to do the same. Not because you demand it, but because your actions reflect it. You carry yourself differently. You speak differently. You respond differently. And people notice. There will always be noise in the world. Opinions, criticisms, distractions. But you have the ability to rise above it, to focus on what truly matters. To remain steady no matter what is happening around you. This is not about becoming emotionless. It is about becoming intentional with your emotions. Feeling without being controlled. Experiencing without being overwhelmed. Living with awareness instead of reaction. As you continue to practice this mindset, you will notice a shift. Situations that once triggered you will no longer have the same effect. Words that once hurt you will lose their power. You will feel lighter, freer, more in control. And that is the ultimate goal. Not to control the world, but to control yourself within it, because once you master yourself, nothing else can master you. There is a moment in life when you begin to realize that reacting to everything is a form of weakness, not strength. It feels natural to defend yourself, to respond quickly, to show others that you are not someone to be disrespected. But true strength is quieter than that. It does not rush. It does not need to prove itself. It simply remains steady, no matter what happens. Most people are trapped in a cycle they don't even recognize. Something happens, they react. Someone speaks, they respond emotionally. A situation goes wrong, they become frustrated. This loop repeats over and over again until it becomes their identity. They begin to believe that this is just who they are. But it's not, it's just a habit that has been reinforced over time. The moment you step outside of that cycle, you gain a new level of awareness. You begin to see that every reaction is a choice. Even when it feels automatic, there is always a split second where you can decide differently. That small window is where your power lies. When you train yourself to pause in that moment, everything changes. You stop being controlled by impulses. You start acting with intention. And with time, that pause becomes longer, clearer, and more natural. It becomes your default response instead of immediate reaction. There is a deep confidence that comes from knowing that nothing can easily disturb you. Not because life becomes easier, but because you become stronger. You begin to trust yourself in any situation. You know that no matter what happens, you will handle it with calmness and clarity. One of the biggest sources of anger is the desire to control outcomes. You want things to go your way. You want people to behave as you expect. You want life to follow your plans. But reality rarely aligns perfectly with your desires. And when it doesn't, frustration appears. Letting go of this need for control is not giving up, it is aligning yourself with reality. It is understanding that you can control your actions, your thoughts, and your responses, but not the world around you. And once you accept this fully, a huge weight is lifted off your shoulders. You no longer feel responsible for everything that happens. You no longer carry the burden of trying to fix what is outside your reach. You focus only on what is within your control, and that focus brings peace. There is also something powerful about lowering your need to be understood. Many people become angry because they feel misunderstood. They want others to see their perspective, to agree with them, to validate their feelings. But not everyone will understand you, and that is okay. When you release the need for universal understanding, you free yourself from constant frustration. You express yourself when necessary, but you don't depend on others to validate you. You remain steady even when others disagree. Silence becomes your ally in this journey. Not because you have nothing to say, but because you understand that not everything needs to be said. You become selective with your words. You speak with purpose, not impulse. There is strength in being the calmest person in the room. While others are reacting, raising their voices, and losing control, you remain grounded. You observe. You listen. And when you do speak, your words carry more weight because they come from a place of clarity. This kind of presence is rare, and that is why it stands out. People are naturally drawn to those who are composed and controlled, not because they are loud or dominant, but because they are stable. They bring a sense of calm into any situation. Another important shift happens when you stop attaching your identity to temporary emotions. You are not your anger. You are not your frustration. These are just passing states, not permanent definitions of who you are. When you create this separation, you gain control. You can experience emotions without becoming them. You can feel anger without acting on it. You can feel frustration without letting it dictate your behavior. There is also wisdom in choosing your battles carefully. Not every disagreement needs to be resolved. Not every challenge needs to be confronted. Sometimes, walking away is the strongest decision you can make. Walking away is not weakness. It is awareness. It is recognizing that your energy is more valuable than proving a point. It is understanding that peace is more important than being right. As you continue to develop this mindset, you will notice that your tolerance for unnecessary drama decreases. You become less interested in gossip, arguments, and negativity. You naturally gravitate toward environments that support your growth and peace. Your circle may change as a result, and that is normal. Not everyone will align with this new version of you. Some people may not understand your calmness. They may even try to provoke you more, just to get a reaction. But this is where your discipline is tested. You stay consistent. You don't fall back into old patterns. You remain grounded in your new way of being. And over time, those who cannot align with your peace will fade out of your life. There is also a deeper level of freedom that comes from accepting yourself fully. When you are comfortable with who you are less affected by external opinions. You don't feel the need to defend yourself constantly. Self-acceptance creates inner stability, and that stability becomes your foundation. No matter what happens around you, you have something solid to stand on. You begin to realize that peace is not something you find outside. It is something you build within. And once it is built, it stays with you regardless of circumstances. Every day becomes an opportunity to strengthen this inner peace. Every challenge becomes a chance to practice calmness. Every interaction becomes a test of your awareness. And with each passing day, you improve. Slowly but surely, you become someone who is not easily shaken. Someone who remains steady in the face of chaos. Someone who has mastered their inner world. If this message is helping you see things differently, then you are already on the right path. Keep going. Keep building this mindset. And make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can continue learning how to stay unbothered, calm, and in control no matter what life throws at you. Your journey is not about changing the world. It is about changing how you respond to it, and once you master that, the world loses its ability to control you.